Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to give you some ideas to help you on what I would call a style journey, something that I've been on myself over the last couple of years. Like many women, I got to the point where midlife I'd started to put on a little bit of weight. I felt my proportions had changed. I felt nothing was fitting me. And I sort of found it a lot easier to start wearing just very stretchy things, leggings, jeggings, loose tops, things like that. And I think I lost my way a little bit on style. I always used to love style and fashion. I've always tried to keep up. I'm the sort of person that does my hair and makeup every day. I've always been like that. However, sometimes you maybe just look at a photo of yourself and think, I didn't realise I was actually looking like that now. Or sometimes you look at your wardrobe and you've got all those clothes there, but nothing you try on just seems right. So what I'm going to do today is go through 6 ideas to help you sort of reinvent your style for 2025. All these things I've been doing over the last couple of years, and I'm going to show you a few pictures of myself before, and obviously you've seen what I look like after as well. So maybe that'll give you some confidence to believe that we don't have to just drift towards old age, looking frumpy, and not being really happy with ourselves. We can reinvent ourselves and actually create a slightly new, different image, but one that represents the person we've become. As women, we have a lot of life experience. We've maybe brought up children, or we've had a career, and we're coming to a point now where we have got a bit more time to focus on ourselves. So the first thing we have to appreciate is that our wardrobes are not going to curate themselves. They're not going to look after themselves. We actually have to do something about it. There's many videos at this time of year talking to you about how to declutter your wardrobe, but I would suggest having a good look and taking out anything that doesn't fit you anymore, that's very out of style, or that you just don't like and it's been hiding in the back of your wardrobe for a long time. Seeing those items there every day will not help you feel confident and stylish, so they're better to just go out of your wardrobe. If you haven't got the time or the energy or the desire to do a big wardrobe clear out, then I'd suggest one other idea. I'd suggest getting a styling rail, like very similar to the ones I use in my videos, and just pulling out some clothes that will make a little cut to your wardrobe for the time being. The sort of things you're wearing at the moment, some tops and bottoms, maybe a couple of jackets or coats, that you know you're wearing and you know will make you a few outfits, and you can sort of try just wearing those for 3 or 4 weeks and see if that actually works in terms of, are there things at the back of your wardrobe you didn't use at all? Did you actually get by okay with just surviving on a few items? So yes, number one, you can go and do a big declutter, send things to charity, donate things, sell things, that sort of thing. Or you can just try something a little bit simpler with a rail and some clothes and see how you get on. If you find with 20 pieces on a rail, you're able to make quite a lot of outfits, do you really need 500 other pieces in the wardrobe? And the idea of curating your wardrobe is something that was quite new to me, but I can see the value of it now. You do need to intentionally actually maybe put things in a reasonable order, make it logical for you, put things where you can see them, where you want to be able to use them every day, maybe color code a little bit. You can see, I'll show you a clip from my wardrobe, which I have been working on. I can't say I'm perfect on this, but you can see I've been sort of trying to get a little bit further into color coding. I did have some space on this rail, however, with my new sale purchases, it has filled up again. So I can't really put any more on there at the moment, unless I decide there's things that need to go. So curating your wardrobe intentionally and not just letting your wardrobe take over you will actually be very helpful in the long run. So step 2 is about re-evaluating yourself. And that includes your body, your proportions, but also your lifestyle. So first of all, let's think about body proportions. Most women's bodies do change a little bit over their life, and you can find that your proportions are not the same as they used to be. Perhaps you put a little bit of weight on around the hip area, perhaps on the tummy, your waist not quite what it used to be. That's something that does happen with menopause. A lot of women find they've got a slightly thicker waist. maybe other lumps and bumps have appeared. Or maybe the opposite may be true. You may have lost weight and feel you don't have much shape anymore. So what can we do about that? Well, the first thing I'd suggest is taking a photo of yourself in just some underwear or an underlayer like the thermal top and leggings and things, something like that, and having a good look at your proportions and seeing if they have changed. For example, I used to be an inverted triangle shape, so I'm broader at the top and then my legs are much thinner, and so I'm smaller at the bottom, so I'm a bit like an upside down triangle. However, over the last 5 years or so, I developed more of an apple shaped tummy. So I'm a bit of a combination now. I think that's sometimes known as a strawberry shape, but knowing your proportions helps, because then you can watch the relevant videos about different sorts of shapes and things like that, what suits different shapes. And you just might need to think again about some of the things you're wearing. I used to wear in the 80s, I remember wearing the rah-rah skirts, and I can see why I like those now, because they actually gave me a little bit of hips. They were smooth over the tummy, but gave you some hips, and that's what I needed. So they worked for me then, but I wouldn't try wearing them now. So this first picture shows the sort of outfit that maybe quite a lot of middle-aged women wear. It's a short cardigan, it's a longer line blouse, and then it's some skinny jeggings. This was taken 2 or 3 years ago. You can see they're not really doing me any favours. The cardigan is a bit tight and a bit short, and it's making me look a bit rounded. There's no structure to the outfit. So that's the sort of thing I don't tend to wear anymore. Also, I don't tend to wear the pattern blouses because I think they're a lot more difficult to create outfits from. And I don't wear the skinny jeggings anymore because I found other styles that do suit me. Second photo, you can see here I'm wearing a coat that's really too tight for me. It's one that looked all right 5 years before, but by then I had put on a bit of weight and it was looking too tight, and it was an awkward length. It wasn't really a jacket, it wasn't really a longer coat. So that didn't do anything for me. And you can see there's 2 thin legs sticking out from the coat there. Proportions are not very good. This picture demonstrates that even more clearly. Now, this is when I was trying to make a bit of an effort, maybe right at the beginning of my styling journey a couple of years ago. And I was trying to wear a blazer and look a little bit smarter, give myself a bit of structure. But unfortunately, I've still got on the skinny leggings, which mean I'm all out of proportion. So it's making my top look even bulkier and bigger. And then I've got these 2 very thin little legs in black again at the bottom. So they just don't look in proportion at all. So I've really had to work on my proportions. Now, I have to say I have lost a little bit of weight since those photos as well, which has made it easier for me because it's given me a bit more of a waist again. However, you don't need to lose weight to become stylish. You know, a few good styling tips and tricks can hide a multitude of sins. So it's not all about losing weight. In my particular case, I did feel better because I felt more back to proportion, and I've started to be able to wear things like fitted jeans again, but that's a personal choice. So re-evaluating your proportions now and thinking about what might or might not suit you now is a very good thing to be doing at the beginning of any styling journey. You also need to consider your lifestyle. So a lot of us have changed our lifestyle as we go into midlife and later life. You know, you may find that children have left home and you're not running around after them. You've got a bit more time. You could have changed jobs and be in a different type of job. You could be thinking about semi-retiring. You might be looking after children or grandchildren maybe now. You may have worked in a corporate office, but now your life is very different. You know, there's all sorts of reasons that we change through the years our lifestyle. And when you get older, it might not be the same as when you were 30. So trying to dress in the same way and buying the same clothes is not going to serve you. And again, I'm guilty of this. I used to be a teacher. I spent a long time being a teacher, and I used to like to look quite smart as a teacher. I had quite a few fitted jackets and skirts and things like that, but I don't need that same look anymore. I also had a penchant for buying nice dresses. So I'd buy a nice dress with a pattern or something quite striking, and it was a nice outfit, but it was very limited in terms of being able to style it in different ways. So once I'd worn it half a dozen times, I was already a bit tired of it. So I've steered away from more patterned items because they're not as easy to mix and match, and you do grow tired of them and they do look dated more quickly. So I've really changed the sort of clothes. I've tried to get into more of a casual look. I am wearing more jeans now. Yes, sometimes I like to wear a blazer or a smart coat, but I do like to look more casual as well. And the world has changed. I think generally people dress more casually. At work, often people now are not required to go in suits and things. So you do need to address your lifestyle. What do you actually need to do in your life? You need to make sure that the majority of your wardrobe is made up of clothes that suit that lifestyle. And then you can just have a few pieces that are more for going out or more glitzy or whatever. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, a shortcut for style tip number 2 is if you're using the rail method that we talked about in style tip 1, where you've got 15, 20 pieces of clothing that you think you regularly wear at the moment and you can make outfits with. If you're finding you can't create enough outfits, it may be that you've got the wrong type of clothing for your lifestyle. So that's a good clue that maybe you need to look again at your lifestyle and consider buying just a few casual pieces if that's the direction your life is going, or maybe the opposite, a couple of smarter blazers if you've let yourself become too casual and there isn't anything nice in your wardrobe. Style tip number 3 is learning the value of foundational pieces. And I'm certainly somebody that didn't used to spend money on foundational pieces, and that's why I had lots of things in my wardrobe, but I never seemed to be able to make any outfits. So foundational pieces can be just things like undertops, the thermal vest layers I was talking about, that sort of thing, or neutral coloured like jumpers and things, t-shirts that can go underneath other items. Or it could be something like, a good fitted pair of trousers or a good nice pair of jeans that fits you. Just the basic foundations of a wardrobe, which you'll be able to make up into lots of different outfits. And if you don't have those in your wardrobe, it does make getting dressed a lot more difficult, and you probably will end up spending a lot more money on sort of one-off pieces. So that's something to really have a look at. And it can be a little bit boring, can't it, spending money on white tops or something? But they are really, really useful. They will bring an outfit together and it will just make it look much more fresh and modern. Style tip number 4 then is to learn the importance of accessories in your outfit. Again, something I think I neglected in the past. I bought a nice dress, that was my outfit, but I didn't always think about things that were going to go with it. Although I did have a tendency to like to have a matching bag and shoes. So I was aware of that, but I don't think I was aware of it to quite the extent that I now am. And I know that things like belts, shoes, bags, scarves, they can make or break an outfit. They really can. You can start off with a really, really plain outfit that looks nothing, just a pair of jeans and a jumper. And then you put on a few accessories, some nice jewelry, maybe a nice scarf or something, and it can look completely different. So it is worth spending money on accessories. And don't save your jewelry just for going out and best occasions. Wear your jewelry day to day, get use out of it. Yes, okay, you might save one very special piece, one coloured jewel piece or whatever, but do wear your jewellery. It does make a difference to your outfits. For example, particularly wearing a neutral like this light grey coloured jumper dress I've got on, the gold accessories there just add a little bit of interest. They're a bit of a focal point rather than just a plain grey or white sort of area at the top here. And gold has been very on trend the last few years. Actually, what's coming through this year is mixed metals, so mixing your silver and gold. But also what's on trend is less tiny thin chains, slightly more substantial jewellery, slightly bigger earrings like these ones here I've got. They're not an expensive pair, they're just a gold plated pair. I actually got them as a present, I'm not sure where they were from, but something a little bit more statement like that is on trend. Those of us who remember the 80s, yes, it's sort of going back there, but not quite. As I said, it's very much metallic still. Gold is a big on trend thing, but also the mixed metals now is coming through. So shortcut is just wear your jewellery. Or you could also invest in maybe a nice handbag. If you don't have one that you really like, maybe invest in a nice handbag and make sure you've got shoes that do go with that. Or maybe just buy a new handbag that's in a contrast colour, for example, that you like, a red or a burgundy or something, and have some shoes that go with that. That can smarten, liven up and modernise any outfit. Just had to change the lighting there. We've had a thunderstorm and now the sun's come out, so everything's changed. Talking about bags and accessories, This little burgundy bag here, as you know, I got from TK Maxx not long ago, very reasonably priced, $34.99, and I've paired that with some nice kitten heels that I have. I also got this lovely red tote bag with the leopard print lining. This was from the June outlet store. Again, very reasonably priced, only £30, but I've used those to just liven up some of my very neutral outfits, and I think they've worked well. Sometimes just adding one piece to your wardrobe can make a big difference. For me, it was buying my trench coat last year. Haven't worn a trench coat in a long time, and actually buying a long line one really made a difference to my outfits and made me feel a lot more stylish. So I'd like to hear from you. Was there anything that you bought, just one item, that made you sort of change your style direction or had a big impact on your wardrobe? I'd really be interested to hear about that. So, fifth style tip then is to be aware of trends. Now, do you need to follow trends? Not necessarily. Do you need to be aware of trends? Definitely yes. So many people dress very classically, or they have their own style which they're quite happy with, and they're not necessarily following trends, but it really does help to be aware of them. For example, knowing what length of skirt is on trend, knowing what shape trousers, general silhouettes that are trending for 2025, that sort of thing is very useful to know. And I talked about it in a video I did in the autumn about the general direction of silhouettes, and it's very similar now. We've got the longer line skirts, the mid-axi skirts, we've got the wide leg jeans or the straight legs, not the skinny legs. If you're still wearing skinny jeans with a tighter top and round toed shoes, you're not on trend, and it will look a bit dated. It will make you look a little bit older. You can still get away with skinny jeans if you wear them with a nice pair of long leather boots, maybe a nice blazer, the sort of countryside chic look. They can be very useful as well, dog walking, gardening, things like that. But as a style, they're not on trend. There have been rumours they're coming back, but they're still not back. It is the straight leg, the wide leg, the carrot shape or barrel shaped jeans that are on trend. So having an idea of silhouettes is a good idea, because otherwise you can look very dated and it will make you look older than probably you actually are. So that's a useful thing to be aware of. Also, colour trends. Even if you think you're not influenced by colour trends, often you are, because it's what's in the shops. But the thing is to only follow colour trends if the colour suits you. I think I made the mistake once of doing that when mustard was very on trend and everything in the shop seemed to be mustard. And I bought a mustard coloured cardigan. I think I wore it once and then it sat in my wardrobe. Eventually I gave it away. Mustard is not one of my colours. I'm a summer colouring. And happy to say, coming in for spring is the lighter, slightly more mid pastel colours like the rose pink or the powder pink, sort of light blue, lavenders. Those sort of shades are coming up for spring 2025, which is great for me because summer colours haven't really been on trend for quite a while. So that's music to my ears. I'm hoping to be able to wear lots of nice things that are in those shades, but obviously I'll wear them with my basic foundational neutrals. I won't be necessarily going head to toe in any of those. So having an awareness of colour and silhouette is a very good idea to help you modernise your style, even if you don't follow all the trends. I have several friends I know who, when the animal print trend sort of came in the autumn, they found, some things like leopard print shoes or a bag they had in their wardrobe, and they just got them out and used those a little bit, just as a little nod to a trend, but they didn't change their overall style of dressing or anything. It just does look like a modern touch to be aware of those trends and just add a little bit of it into your outfits. And finally, one last style tip is to maybe use outfit formulas. That's something that's been quite abundant on the internet at the moment, so there's lots of videos telling you how to use those, but I'll give you just a couple of examples. So first of all, there's this sandwich rule where you're wearing the same colour top and maybe shoes, but you've got a different colour in the middle, so different trousers or skirt or dress. And that is a really easy formula to do. I use that all the time, and it does make outfits look a little bit more cohesive. So that's a good one to follow. There's also the contrast outerwear. idea, which is where you have the same colour top and bottom, the under layer, and then you just wear a different colour coat over the top. It doesn't have to be a hugely contrasting colour, could just be a different tonal colour, or it could be something with a bit of a contrast, but that can look quite smart because you've got the nice long line underneath of the colour that you've got on the inside layer, and then you've got something different over the top. That always works quite well and looks put together. A third idea when talking about outfit uniforms is don't wear more than 3 colours in any one outfit. So you can see here, I'm just having a look at some of the outfits I've created over the last few months. Generally speaking, I'm not using more than 3 colours. Again, it's a way of making your outfits more cohesive. And one big tip here is just to wear less prints. Now, prints are not on trend unless it's stripe or animal print. Yes, when it comes to the summer, I think we are going to see some more bold florals, maybe things like that. There is sort of rumours in the fashion world that maximalism is coming in a bit, and we could see the return of that. But if you're going around in sort of the paisley patterns we used to wear 15 years ago, that again will date you. Now, I have to confess, I had a lot of items like that in my wardrobe. And what I've done is, some of them that I really love still and I didn't quite want to give away, I've just packed them up in a plastic tub and I've put them out of the way for the time being. There's no point them being in my wardrobe at the moment, but they do still fit me and maybe one day I will get them out. So if you can't bear to give away things, just taking them out of your wardrobe is a good thing to do and putting them away for the time being. You can always bring them out again if trends change or whatever, but definitely at the moment, less pattern is much better. You will be able to create so many more outfits using just 1 colour pieces. And as I said, the rule of no more than 3 colours in an outfit will stand you in good stead. So finally, that's my 6 tips for starting on a style journey. It's something you can do in small tweaks at the moment, or it's something you can actually decide to work on the longer term and sort of do it over the next 6 months. But even just a few tweaks here and there will make a difference to how you feel about your outfits and your confidence. So I recommend you try those. If any of these points you'd like me to talk about in more detail, I have rushed over quite a lot of points, then please let me know in the comments and I'll try and do a video on one of those ideas. For example, you know, the outfit formulas, the sandwich outfits and things like that, you could do a whole video on that. But I've just tried to give you a general overview of some of the points that will make a difference to how you feel about your style and your outfits. And I hope that 2025 proves to be a positive year for you fashion-wise and confidence-wise, and you create some nice outfits that you can feel happy, comfortable in, but do make you feel like you're a little bit on trend.